There was no Kenya.
Yeah.
In fact, at independence, there are people who are so close to Kenyatta and who used to be in the kitchen cabinet who never knew that Kenya extends beyond Molo. You hear stories of people speaking Kikuyu in State House.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the whole point. Like, there was no such thing called Kenya. It was just a name.
Even they who are in parliament themselves, they don't know the constitution.
Yes, that's true.
It's actually a very sad thing. And it's so interesting when you talk about kwani ni serikali gani haijawahi kuwa.
Yes.
I have been in forums where that is the excuse.
Yeah.
Like watu wanasema, hey, hata serikali ya nani, watu waliliwa, hata serikali ya... I'm like, so how does that make it right? Like, did you do anything like maybe university, college after that?
So I go to school to study law. Then I go to my university and I'm misplaced. I'm one of the people who was misplaced to the school of HR. So in that semester, I'm in school in a different school to study something that I did not go to school for. So they keep telling us they'll move us to annex. There was some bit of confusion. But of course, now I leave Moi, I go to Nazarene to study law.
Okay.
Did I even stay there for long? I did that at independence.
Yeah.
Because remember, Kenyatta and his team changed the constitution 35 times. 35, you know. And they were so insecure to a point they even came up with a law that says that you need a permit if for a gathering of more than 2 people. So right now, see, I took a gather up. Who would have been arrested, you know? So the chief, there was a law that was passed that time. It's called the Chief's Authority Act.
Yeah.
The chief could excommunicate you from the village. Every child in Kenya is guaranteed free
education
and compulsory basic education, right? Then the constitution has defined for you and it has told you who is a child. Anyone below the age of 18. Then why are you asking me for school fees? Because this is still a kid below 18 years. So when people hear that capitation has been increased, it has been reduced, they don't know what to do because they don't know what that constitution says about that specific thing. I'll ask you a question.
Ask me.
When and where did we agree as a country that some public schools zitajengwa na mbao, zingine na matope, zingine watasomea chini ya mti, na wengine watasomea kwa brick and mortar? It is simply because we have not even known that constitution demands that in everything we do there must be equality and equity. Meaning a classroom in Rongo should be the same as a classroom in Mombasa. So how do you justify children studying under
a tree?
Unless they are studying tourism, where they have to be outside, then they should be in a classroom. You see, if you are a teacher, you are well schooled, you have a degree, and you are going to teach in a class that has no tiled floors, it means you are so stupid because you cannot even fight for your own rights. You have to say we are not going to school until all schools match the required standards. You see, they only show up when they want salary increment. Now, a salary is a quarter of your problems, your welfare. The constitution talks about human dignity, the highest human dignity, right? That is Article 10. That is when I was asking that time that vile unafanya tulielewana na vile ulielewana, vile tulielewana ulifanya na vile unafanya tulielewana. That is in law. It is in Article 10. We agree that there shall be human dignity, there shall be public participation, there shall be democracy. All these things are there. So as a teacher, if you accept to teach in a mad world classroom, you are endangering your own health. So you have to go on strike and say, we shall not teach until
we have proper classes.
We have proper classes. You cannot leave that to activists. These people who claim to be leading teachers' unions, what are you leading? So, you can be educated but uninformed. Yes, because being informed means you know the things that matter. Being educated means you have qualified intellectually for something. You know, you are hereby a certified teacher.
Yeah.
But now you need to be a certified Kenyan. Because teachers are all over the world, not all of them are Kenyan. So as a Kenyan teacher, as a Kenyan doctor, as a Kenyan lawyer, as a Kenyan farmer, as a Kenyan doctor, as a Kenyan engineer, what does the law say about your rights? If you don't know that, if you don't have that information, then you will be led by goons, you will be led by fools, and you know what happens when you're led by fools. The next thing is destruction, right? Yeah, so that is the difference. We are one step away. If people can learn this constitution in schools, in the next 5 years, 10 years, by the time we're doing elections in 2032, you'll be having a very simple time, because those who are corrupt will not even have a chance to campaign, the audacity to campaign.
Yeah.
Because remember, everyone comes from school, right? Thieves come from school, witch doctors come from school, sports people come from school. So if we all went to school, have you ever seen doctors, you're a journalist or you're a media personality, when you are having a congregation of media personalities, there is no way someone else will come and say something that is not true about the media because
space.
You all know.
Yeah.
So they won't even have the audacity to say it.
Yes.
So if we are led by people who know the constitution, they won't even have the audacity to say anything to even vie for office. You see? So when here unasikia watu wanasema ati ingekuwa majusa huyu jamaa ingekuwa step down. Because everyone knows you are supposed to do it. They don't do it out of their own volition. It's because they know, the people know.
Yeah.
You see? But here we still negotiate with thugs.
Yeah, true.
So that's the problem. But we are there. I'm telling you, first a country has to get there mentally. You know, we earned our independence. We earned our political freedom in 1992. We earned our constitutional freedom in 2010. Now we are in the phase of economic freedom. It means you are educated enough to demand for a good life. You are informed enough. You know, your level of literacy and numeracy is so high that you cannot take the bare minimum. Isn't it reflecting in relationships?
Yeah.
When it's nowadays when you hear people saying, for our millennial brothers and sisters, love was like the best thing that would ever happen to you. It was lucky. It was something lucky to get a lover, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, niko na mgeni atakuja nyumbani hii December. It used to be like a very big thing. Nowadays it's not even a thing. In fact, marriage is what we are scared of.
Yes.
Right? Because it does not serve any purpose in our generation. Right? So that's it. It means people are so economically aware that they are doing away with things that
don't matter.
Yeah, you meet a girl and she tells you, I'll not marry down. Just to tell you need to do better as a man, right? I'll not marry down. So, yeah. it means people are informed enough to demand for the best. And it's something that cannot change. So for you to attain economic freedom, the only way you can do it is to understand the laws of your country.
If today I was to decide that now I want to learn about this constitution and I'm going to, what is it? Do I just take the article and just read from page 1 all the way, all the 18
Absolutely,
chapters?
That's it. It has only 264 articles. If you read one article every day, it will take you to 64 days. If you read 2 articles, it will take you 134 days. If you read 3 articles, it will take you 66 days. If you read 4 articles, it will take you 53 days. If you read 5 articles, it will take you some 40-something days. If you read 10 articles, it will take you 26 days.
Are we together, Kalbo? Okay. What is the
And I even went ahead to simplify it for you. I did the only thing that has ever been done in this world. I think it's because Kenyans are record breakers, right? I teamed up with a few guys to interpret and explain. I assumed I'm a fool. You know, I had to assume that position that now I'm a very big fool and I want to understand the constitution. Like Gumbaru. No, Gumbaru simply meant you are admitting that you are a fool and you want to do better.
And you want to learn.
Yeah? So, we broke down every article, what it means. We have told you simple explanation of this article. We have told you how it impacts you. We have told you how your rights are protected which rights of yours are protected by that article. We have even told you what to do, what action to take when it's violated. It has never been done in the world. We are the first ones to do it.
Okay.
So I wrote a book called Katiba Made Familia.
Yeah.
Yes, it explains the whole constitution.
Where do I get that book?
I think my team has it. I have it. You can order.
Okay.
Yeah, you can order.
Tell us where to order.
There, you can just text me 07 59 31 88 55. That's it. We'll get it. We are yet to stock with Nuria bookstore. Wanted to stock with them so that people can get them. We didn't want to sell those books. We wanted to have as many people come through. We fundraise so that we can stock in schools already and stock in libraries so that you can just easily get them.
Okay.
That's the whole point.
I think for me, the biggest win in all of this will be to have the Constitution taught as a subject in our schools.
Yeah.
So before we get to that point where now it is mandatory that the Constitution can be taught there, how can we teach this to our kids, even just in our own spaces, so that our kids are aware that this is what the Constitution says? You
ever had something called public participation? Public participation is what informs the MP what to go and do in parliament. I believe it is high time all media stations are instructed by policy, by government policy, that all your programs will teach something to do with the Constitution. That's number one. That service providers like Safaricom should be texting us at least, because they are using our money, every day an article that, do you know the Constitution says this? The way they disturb us with those texts, the ones that I don't even know.
We have free bundles.
Yes, all these betting sites. How did you access my data?
Yeah.
So can you be courteous enough to educate me because you got my number and you are texting me without my permission?
Yeah.
So at least give me a reason to read your text. That can we ensure that it is high time even the Kenyan creatives stop sitting on the fence. Tell your followers to read the Constitution. I'm telling you, someone like that guy called Malcolm Machaji na Manyonyo is. Someone like Obina, yourself. If you just wake up one day and you tell my followers, hey, by the way, do you know that Article 1 says this? You will not be teaching them, you will be inspiring them to read. Because they say the highest human, the greatest human act is to inspire, right? Once you inspire someone to do something, then you have attained the greatest human act. So if you are an influencer, what are you doing about the Constitution? At least put some seriousness in your thing so that we need to see. Because Nikubaya, where we are, Nikubaya. If we are at war, we won't care about your music.
True.
If people are dying somewhere in Kenya, all the attention goes there. So even if you release an album, we are thinking about that. Yes. So for you to even earn from us, you have to push your followers. There is a reason why you are an influencer. People have betrayed, have portrayed, or have bestowed a certain level of trust in your word. That's why they follow you. Mkurugenzi Abel Mutua, in your stories, you should come up with things that say, by the way, guys, ushaijua sheria ya Kenya nisemaga hivi. Hey, just read one. By the way, that Constitution is very interesting. It tells you, it's very interesting, I'm telling you.
So Calligraph should rap about the Constitution.
Yes. Actually, yes. It is high time we stop being fence sitters, because if it doesn't work for one, it will not work for all. When Alberto Juang died, nobody cared which movie had been released. Nobody cared which play is going on at KNT, right? When that happens, nobody cares about anything. It's like when you have a headache. Your body doesn't care about your plans until you deal with that headache. If this finger has a problem, the whole body will keep reminding you. Pain is your body reminding you. We have a problem, fix it first. So in Kenya, we have a crisis, and it's a constitutional crisis. The crisis is there is constitutional illiteracy. So both the poor man and the rich man don't know the Constitution. Now, the few people who know that law are able to create deals with leaders or politicians and business people. Tell the leader, unajua mimi naweza kusaidia uchange katiba. Wewe ongea poa. And that's how kuna document kutumiwa isome. Hey, so bring an MP nitamfunza vile ataenda kuteboli kitu kwa vile atadiscuss. Hey. So unataka ngapi? Ningekuitisha 500 million lakini wacha nikuitisha 450. You know, it is easy to lie to informed people. And it is hard to lie to informed people, right? Yes. When people know, what does the Bible do? Why is the devil so unpopular in churches? Because people know he's the enemy, right? Yeah. And they know the Bible, right? So they know if the devil does this, I just need to pray and say A, B, C, D, and it'll be gone. So we already yes, we know how to deal with the devil. So if we can deal with the devil, God's number one enemy, the opposition leader in the faith realm, if we can deal with Satan, why can't we deal with this constitutional ignorance we have?
True.
Because remember, where does tribalism thrive? Ignorance. When you are told unajua hawakuangi watu huku kwetu inafaa waende, you are forgetting that constitution has allowed people to own property everywhere in this republic. You are saying unajua sawa ni wajaluo so wapatie position. You are forgetting the same constitution is saying equality and equity, and whatever posts that is being created, the staffing will reflect the face of the nation. But if you don't know that, so you say President ni Mkalenjin, lazima akuwe na wakale wake, au nilikuwa nadhani because that is the other constitution. But this constitution says everything that person does should reflect the population, the reality of the nation, right?
Not a particular people.
Not a particular people. Because how did you know it's only Kalenjins who voted for you, or only Kikuyus who voted for you, or only Kisis? Utaweza sema in Kisii unajua nilipata 2 million votes. It does not mean 2 million Kisis voted for you.
Yeah.
It means, it could even mean people of your own tribe voted another person.
Yeah, true.
And people of another tribe voted for you.
True.
Is it? So that is the danger of ignorance.
Najifunza vitu mob sana. What is the hardest thing you've ever experienced in your, when you meet people, katika hizi vikao tu zako wakati unakaa na watu na mnazungumza kuhusu katiba, what is the hardest thing you've ever, or most difficult thing that you ever experienced, whether it is hostility or just whatever it is?
Before October 15th,
yeah,
this was the challenge. They used to tell me, bwana unajua si Raila alisomea katiba. Now Raila is not there.
Yeah.
That's the only challenge
that you've experienced.
Yes, nothing.
But everywhere you go, people welcome you and
yeah, because when I start my sermons, I call them sermons. I tell you, when we start, I tell you we're going to talk about ABCD.
Yeah.
But I want you to remove the name William Ruto, Raila Odinga, Rigathi Gachagua, Martha Karua, Fred Matiang'i, Kalonzo Nini. Let us remove their names and their politics here, and let's talk.
Yeah.
And then they realize, actually, what? We are only rumor mongers. Yes. Look at our TV stations. Every morning, they bring people who gossip. I call that gossip. You know, if William Ruto partners with this guy, and now the only option remaining for Kalonzo and Sifuna is this. What if we get to 2027 and Ruto says, guys, thank you so much,
I don't want this
so anymore. It means all these things you are saying are nonsensical. You are saying things that don't matter,
What if William Ruto say that again?
Yes, what if it gets to that time and he says, guys, manze, it was just a sport.
It's been real.
So jinsi mtaendelea. What will you do? And your essence, your whole essence has been about
this guy.
What will you do?
Yeah. I think it's just the same thing you're saying about Raila. Everyone based, a lot of these people based around Raila. Yes. Now he's not
there. And now we are asking you, now you tell us what you want, what you will do for us.
Yeah.
Yes. I keep telling people, we already know what every leader wants.
Yeah.
This one says, na mimi yo kiti naitaka. But do we know what we want? You can only want 5 things the world over. You must want something about the constitution. You must want something as the people about education. You must want something, because remember, the quality of a citizen is determined by the curriculum they are taken through. So education is very important. That's why you see they are trying to mess with it.
Yeah.
Because 844 produced a lot of people who could question things. Now they are trying to tell you that everybody is a winner through CBC, CBE. There's no such thing as everybody is a winner. So we can as well tell Kipchoge, don't train because all of you will get gold.
Yeah.
Nobody is a winner. We are all winners.
Yeah. So we
just go, don't train.
Yeah.
Yes, we are all winners. So even in court, let's go and say, let's not even table evidence because everybody is a winner. Yes, both the accused and the complainer, as in both the defendant and the complainant, are winners. So we are teaching our kids never to question. You are teaching our children not to improve because you've told all of them there is no grading. There must be grading. Even when you are running, you have to measure yourself, your progress with time. Even God measures your holiness with the 10 commandments.
Yeah.
Even the devil wants something from you. You must compete
to get his attention.
There is a qualification for hell.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You must be a very bad person. If you are good, the devil is like, no, not my type. So if the devil has competition, he has set a test. Why are we removing the essence of the reason why Kenyans perform and outperform other people, other races in the world, is the reason why Kenyans can adapt everywhere is because 844 taught you that. So education pia ilikuwa ina create a certain sensation, ranking na nini. You had to know, hebu tuone sawa watu wameperform aje.
Kweli.
Sasa nowadays I don't even know what does it mean to score 40? You know, now I go.
What is it to meet expectation, exceed expectation?
How did you know? How did you measure that? What if I did not even make an effort, and you're saying I met expectation, and I never did anything?
Yeah.
So you see, everybody must want something about education. Everybody must want something about health. Because a healthy nation is a productive nation.
True.
Even if you are educated today and you are not healthy, you are of no use to this republic.
Yeah.
You see, even to your own family, if you are not healthy, what are we saying about the process of employing our leaders, elections? What are we saying about it? We must say something about it. Right now, you cannot recall an MP in Kenya. Right? So, and that process of recalling an MP is too long. It is just like the way someone wants to tell you no, but the corporate no.
Yeah.
Having considered, sijui nini, sijui we wish you the best.
Words.
Yes, unaninyima job, but you are giving me hope, you know. So, we want the recall of an MP to end at the High Court. Because the moment we have discovered you embezzled public funds, you should lose that seat. We should make it so simple. What are we saying about the lasting devolution, the greatest feature in our constitution? The thing that solved all the problems we had since we got self-rule. You know, what are we saying about it? There should be some basic development standard. That we are agreeing that even if people are going to be corrupt, at least be corrupt in a decent way. So in every county there will be road connectivity. In every county there will be electricity connectivity. In every county there shall be guaranteed health. In every county there shall be good classes and good staffing and stocking of schools. In every county there shall be street lights. You go to a county at 6:30, it's dark.
Yeah.
What does that county do? It says we are empowering thugs over you. That is what it means. If a county doesn't have street lights, it means the leaders are thugs. They are thriving. In school we learned, we studied a book called that book was called the set book I did about Mtemi na Sababora. And that guy would say, he had this guy who used to trim his fences, and he would tell them, no, msifieke.
Yeah.
Binadamu anahitaji uchafu kidogo. He was a very corrupt man.
Yeah.
You see? So if you go to a county and it is not well lit, it is not well connected, just know, unaonaga ile kitu, ati, najua so and so wana date lakini siwezi prove. So if you see there are no roads, just know, hao watu ni corrupt ni vile huwezi prove.
Yeah.
You see? Because we only elect our leaders for one thing, development. What is development?
It's all of the things you've spoken.
Creation of an asset and servicing of an asset. You see, we are there so that we can enable us to make money. A road is an asset. A hospital is an asset. A school is an asset.
True.
Democracy is an asset. You see, so if we don't push for the 5 things that we should listen to everyone. That's what democracy is. That I want Rigathi to say what he will say, but I want to hear only 5 things from him. I want to hear what Rigathi is saying about education, the constitution, health, elections, and devolution. I want to hear what Sifuna says about this, so that I gauge. I want all of them to say those 5 things. I want their manifesto on the 5 things, so that I can also counter check with the what? With the Constitution and Vision 2030, so that I see, is this man telling me bogus things? There is a song by Professor J. Someone just sent me about it's called Ndio Mzee. It's a very funny song. This guy promises so many things. He even tells them that every policeman will have a helicopter. Milk. There'll be milk supplied in pipes. And then now, later after they voted him, there's another song now. It's called Siomze. So they asked him, like you said, zile helicopter, and he says, tafadhali tutumia akili hata ukiona. So now this guy is in power.
What are you saying about Singapore? The Singapore.
Now I'll tell you something about Singapore.
Tell me.
In 2008, a delegation from Kenya led by someone called Andrew Ligale.
Yes.
They go to Singapore. To do what? To benchmark. They want Nairobi City to become like Singapore, because Singapore is just as small as Nairobi City.
Yes.
It's a country of 6 million people, right? Is it 6 or 4? Something like that. So they go there and they tell him, we need A, B, C, D, and he tells, so who are you guys? By the way, my name is Andrew Rigale. I'm from the city planning. Nataka tufanye hivi na hivi. So tulikuwa tunaona kazi yenyewe mnafanya guys, and it's so good. So tulikuwa taka tuchukue plan yenu. Tuende tufanye wapi?
Tutumie kwa nchi yetu.
So the guy tells them, thank you so much. Pulls his drawer, gives them a plan. When they look at it, that plan came from Kenya.
Wow.
Kenya already had a plan designed by Mwai Kibaki and his team in 1974. That Singapore came and took from Kenya. What people don't know about Lee Kuan Yew is that he had suffered so much, he had seen so much. Do you know how Singapore came to be? Singapore was part of so many countries, but it kept being disowned. So eventually it was part of Malaysia. Malaysians are Muslims, but the Chinese had occupied this area called Singapore, this region. What do the Chinese eat? They eat dogs. So these guys didn't like it. They were like, watu hata ni wachafu, tuachane na wa. So they told them tumewapatia freedom. So this guy go to China and they tell China, maze, we are disowned, na nini, we need help. So of course they get some finances here and there. But what people don't know about Lee Kuan Yew is that he was a very hardworking man. He earned everything. He was a lawyer. Before deciding what to do with Singapore, he traveled to 17 countries in Africa. You know, to do what? To look at why are things not working. Because if you do the opposite, then you'll get the success. In high school, that's how I was. I just have to look at mse mwenye anaamka exam. Ni nini ya ufanya? Anaamkanga late. Okay. Anafanyanga nini? Okay. So if I do the opposite, that's it. Anapiga kelele daro. Okay. Ariwaisingi. So he just came and realized, leaders are corrupt.
So that is what will not happen in my country.
They negotiate with drug dealers. Okay. Asking for bribes is something normal. Okay. Leaders are above the law because they know the supreme leader will protect them. Okay. So he goes and applies the opposite in Singapore. So when he goes to Singapore, he says we must control our population first. So the policy is a maximum of 1 child. We have a small country. Our building plan cannot be horizontal. It will be vertical. You know. So the thing that us we are using here is a problem. We are using a good method to solve a problem that does not exist. In Singapore, the reason why they were building those housing projects is because the landmass is small. So they need to use the sky. and you are told you are going to be given 2-bedroom houses. 1 bedroom for you and your wife, 1 bedroom for your child, and you share the rest. Nobody will contaminate Singapore with drugs, because Singapore is a pathway ya meli. So they decided hakuna consignment ya drug itapita hapa, and we shall make it a capital offense. So 0 drugs, deal with gangs, clean the city. Then it became what it became. Are we willing to do that?
It will be hard because you can't even chew gum.
There's even a story of Lee Kuan Yew himself. His friend who was working in the housing projects, then he embezzled some money. And then when he was caught by the ethics and anti-corruption of that place, he said that he'll go and talk to the president. He said, let me call the president.
Who is his friend?
So the president tells him, no problem, you just finish with those guys, me, I'm still here.
Yeah.
So the guy, out of shame, and because he knew that my friend cannot save me, he commits suicide. That is Singapore for you.
Yeah.
Yes. And why would you want to be something else?
Yeah. That is so the opposite of what we experience.
Let me ask you this. You are in a marriage. You have children. This is the man you've decided to marry. Then you tell your children, I want you to be like that man, the neighbor's husband.
Yeah.
So what's the role of your husband?
None.
You have a husband, but you're telling your children that, you know, you should be like that guy. Or you should be like the children of that guy.
Yeah.
Why can't we create our own? Because solutions are always in your problems. Yeah, solutions, if there's a problem, the opposite is the solution. If the problem is stealing public funds, the opposite, the solution is don't steal. We don't need to go and benchmark.
Yeah, yeah.
You see?
Yeah, true.
If you look at the Chinese, they had to solve their own problems. That's why they attained that level of productivity they have attained. You see? American laws are for Americans, because it must encompass cultures, behaviors, nini. So we have a Kenyan behavior, yes,
which is unique to us.
Which is very unique. That Michael Joseph once said, Kenyans are peculiar. The Kenyans are just Kenyan. There is everyone, but then there is Kenya. I think everyone is proving that, right? Even Speed, when he came, you can even see in his post videos, he still uses a Bariako. He still says about that nostalgia.
That
he's so nostalgic about Kenya, right?
He is, yeah.
So the most special thing about Kenya, because remember, we don't have minerals kama Congo. The only special thing about Kenya is Kenyans themselves.
Yeah, it's people.
So ensure these people have the best education, the best constitutional democracy, the best health services, the best election democracy, and the best devolution. Trust you me, Kenyans will do anything. We saw it with Chan. Yes.
What's your plan moving forward?
Simple. We are tabling. I'm going all over Kenya from Monday.
Okay.
I'm doing a 5-city tour this coming Monday to promote the petition. Then after the 7 days we've finished, we come do a few consolidations here. Then we take that thing to Parliament, the petition, to be adopted in Parliament, so that it starts being discussed, and we still continue going all over, lobbying for the support of each and every MP.
How are you able to fund all of this? Hiyo kutembea na nini?
Because the only thing that has helped me is I did not structure myself as an organization, because either way I'll move. So I just have to be available in that town, right?
Okay.
So either way, I don't need those dubious budgets. I don't need to say that, you know, I moved from CBD to Thika and the budget was 5,000. Who can go to Thika from CBD with 5,000? Even if you are going, you see. So like we just use we sell the book here and there, do events, nini. Then the small that we get, but this one I wanted to be funded by Kenyans. Yes. So we are selling tickets, 1850 per ticket.
Okay.
They are ticket units. So you get the book and you get to support us for those 14 days that we'll do that work.
Okay.
Yeah.
So with this, which is what you do,
Yeah.
is there anything else you do on the side? Because you had spoken about like events management. Yeah.
After this, I told myself, I'm not an activist. There's a role I have to play, but I have to continue with my life. My life is freedom. I was running. Right now I'm gaining weight. I was to do those events, marathons, and also to do movie nights, a few concerts here and there, comedy nights, those things that ensure I'm free. I don't think there is anything I'm chasing in this world that requires me to do something extraordinary. I think being Kenyan on its own is extraordinary. So I don't want to do anything that will take me out of my natural element, like dressing. You know, before people knew me, I just used to put on shorts and t-shirts. So wherever I'll go, I'd work with very serious people. And I remember working for a certain person. And then I did the whole plan and everything. And people were judging me the whole week. They didn't know I was the guy with the plan. So I would see serious people judging me. You know, they'd come there smelling nice, and I'm like, oh my God, all this to please human beings. Me, I'd do my Gikomba t-shirts at Nini, you know, like after all, man, I don't care. So the day that I present and now I tell them this is how we'll move and everything,
they see the game
they really clap for me and I'm like, oh my God, you hypocrites. You hypocrites. You crucified Jesus. So I don't expect anything from you. So, oh, but I should tell you even about the Bible. Do you know in the Bible? Those two thieves who were crucified by Jesus, what was their offense? What had they stolen? It was Gestas and Dismas. One was called Gestas and the other was Dismas.
Hata sijui jina zao lakini najua walikuwa wameiba. Na mmoja akamwambia kwenda we ni nani, na mwingine akamwambia mazee sajajo mimi hata ukienda huko juu manze usinisahau.
No, they were activists.
Oh yeah?
Yes, they are the people who were fighting for Barabbas to be released. That's why they were saying, give us Barabbas.
Why do they tell us they were thieves?
It is because the state had fabricated charges on them. Those were revolutionaries. So Jesus also, they had fabricated charges on him.
On him, and they truly did,
So those guys had known Barabbas as their leader, so they were like, nani? Hatukutambui.
But it's not in the Bible that.
It is there, like you should read it. We don't read.
No,
Can I tell you a funny story? I don't know if it's funny, but let's try. Okay? So God calls people for blessings. Right? He says, all races that I've created will come for blessings tomorrow. The white man arrives at 6:30. God tells him, you shall rule the world. Good. He goes. The Chinese arrives at 7 a.m. He's told, you will produce everything for the world. The Somali, the Arabs, and the Wahindis arrive at 7:30. They are told, you will trade the goods.
Okay, mbona tulifika 8? Like
no, we arrived at 2 p.m. God was taking lunch and was like, oh, ndio kina nani? Oh, Africans, that's your call. Like, manze nimechoka. Unajua hata sikuwa najua mtakam leo. Sasa fanyeni hivi. Endeni msome hii book, vitu zenu ziko hapo. To date, that African has never read that book.
Tulikuwa na shughuli 1-2-1-2.
Can I tell you where my grandmother used to hide money? In the Bible. We are all sinners in that house. Nobody will open the Bible.
That is so interesting. Who told me that story? Someone told me the story of Buddha alikuwa anawaachia do kama 50 bob. Ameenda job. Akiacha hii 50 bob, akirudi jioni anauliza watu, "Mlikula nini?" Ati tulikula tu mboga na ugali because ulikuwa umetuachia 50. Akamwambia mkisoma Biblia, mnaweza kukulanga vizuri sana. Ilikuwa ni Saru. Ukisoma Biblia unaweza kukula vizuri sana. It was Saru. Then they used to wonder like ni nini anatuambia. So they used to take your Bible hiyo tunaambiwa si tusome hapa tu kwa simu. Wanasoma kwa simu. What the dad used to tell them was alikuanga na feature do kwa Bible. So ndiye alikuwa na hii Bible mkifungua mnaweza sosi poa. Mtacha kukula sukuma na ugali.
That's the whole point. You see governors being questioned in the Senate committee, and then they see documents they signed for the first time. They see it there.
They shock.
Open page and like,
Ata hamini.
Like, yet that is the whole reason you are a governor, to approve things you've gone through.
True.
You see?
True.
So, you can categorize our leaders like that. They are leaders who know they know. William Ruto is one of them. Raila Odinga was one of them. Edwin Sifuna is one of them. Babu Owino is one of them. when Odinga is one of them. The people who know, they know. So their discussion is very different. That's why you see later here, the burial ya wife ya Dedan Kimathi, there is something that Raila said about Ruto. He said, Ruto namjua, nimefanya kazi naye, atapiga kelele uko mbele, atapoa. So they know the law, they know each other. And then there are those who know they don't know. Hao ndio wanaendanga kutusiana. Because anaambiwa sasa kitu atasema. Ukionaga leader anatusiana jua si yeye. Ametumwa. Yeye ni a dog for hire. Yeah. Because a man with his brains cannot be used. Because how will you, let's say you tell Miguna to go and do something for you. How will you start that conversation with Miguna?
You can't.
He's too the energy around Miguna is too good.
You cannot even bear. Yeah.
You see, what people don't know even about people like Miguna is that when he was in campus, him and Wafula Buke, when Wafula Buke was the president, when Wafula Buke was almost being arrested, the first person is being thrown out and arrested was Miguna. They were already fighting the state at that time.
Yeah.
So those are not people we can hire. Those cannot be guns for hire.
No, they can't.
So these people who count success as luck, they are the most dangerous people. Those are the enemies of the state. You see those people who keep saying, sisi ni wale tulienda shule bila viatu na nini. So what? Poverty is not a qualification for anything. So you want to qualify because you are poor.
Yeah.
Right? What about the kid who grew up in a good home and got his skills and everything? He doesn't deserve it? True. Tunajua sisi, I remember we used to go on 1 meal a day and I'm like, that is the most healthy thing you should do. You see right now you've gained a lot of weight because you got out of your ways. Poverty was doing good. Now you are you see a fat man telling you he was poor. I was a lean guy, like I can't see that face.
You can't see it.
You got out of your ways. That's why you're stupid. So,
oh goodness.
You see, so poverty is not a qualification for shit.
Yeah.
You see, morality is not a qualification for shit. The good man finishes last, right? The nice guy finishes last, right? Yes. Because as human beings, we are dangerous in nature. Yes, we are not. It is only civilization that makes us look like we are good. No, we are not good. We are dangerous. Only that this constitution helps us behave like how to live with each other's danger. That is why when shit hits the fan, people always say, na mi unijui, mimi pia unijui. Like now he's operating in his real nature now. But hii ingine inakuwaga ni yenye imewekwa na polisi ya nini? Ya company, no. The language will be decent.
Si ati anakuanga hivyo.
If you want to know we are dangerous, why is it that the people we consider controversial, people like Akothee, why do they have a lot of following? Because we relate to it, we gravitate towards our reality.
Umesema Akothee nikaona leo ametukana hapo tena fundi Frank.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the people will be cheering. Nobody will go preaching under her comments. Nobody will go saying that, you should follow the ways of God. They're like, because why is it that boxer, Majembe, Kenya has very professional boxers, right? Why is it that people love him? Because he's dangerous. He says things that civilization has made you think you shouldn't say. But I read The River and the Source, and in The River and the Source it says those guys were chanting and they were boasting. Hey, I am Ongong Jaber, the mosquitoes. You need Wang Sino, the mosquito. Like it was.
You read the book?
Yes, I read the book. That's the book.
Yeah.
So we have to know that goodness, poverty is not a qualification for anything. That we voted people because they said they were poor. I mean, come on, like so what? You know, we can vote a poor man in America because it's a special thing to be poor in America.
But here it isn't.
Here, and I'm telling you, we are already rich. This poverty is in relation to, in comparison to. Look at everyone. At manze mimi nataka manze maisha London. Right? Because we believe. So that's why I was saying everything that I'm doing, I have to remain in my most natural element. I cannot get out of it. So there is no day you'll see Nganga Nikivaa suit sema nimeenda event ya mtu mwingine mwenye namrank sana.
Sitawahi kukuona nazo.
Sitawahi. Clothes are the least of things that I care about. Yes. I had a girlfriend.
Had?
Yeah, I had a girlfriend.
Muliachana?
Yes. Coming to think of it, that was one of the worst decisions I ever made.
Having a girlfriend or having her in particular?
Having her as my girlfriend. As in breaking up with her is one of my greatest mistakes.
For real?
Because at that particular time, you know, Chinua Achebe says, where one thing stands, right beside something else, another thing stands. As in penye Mungu wako, shetani pia tu wako hapo kando. So I had a very good girl. But there was another girl with aesthetics. The halo effect was just too irresistible. You know, she's not funny. Yeah. The other one was funny, should make me laugh. Yeah. But this one was not funny. The joy came with now the way she smiles. You know, she's not funny. Yeah. The smile makes me happy. Yeah. But this one makes me smile. Yeah. You know? Yeah. So when you're going for elections, I'd want to advise Kenyans, don't be like Nganga. Go for the real thing. Guy, uliacha huko na now you know. Oh. Then I read a meme later that ushainua mtungi haina maji na force alafu that is how you feel when you realize uko na dem na ana akili. Ni mrembo lakini ana akili. So I'm telling Kenyans, don't be like Nganga. I'm your live example. That go for the real thing, right? Don't go for the empty. Yes, don't go. You know, don't go for aesthetics because the next election is going to be full of aesthetics. Yeah, it is. So go for the real thing. It is. You see, go for the real guy. Yeah. So I've sacrificed my honor for you guys. That is so interesting that you should say, even just as we wind up, because sometimes I look at how excited the crowds are at these political events, and there is nothing this person on the huyo yuko kwa jukwaa hakuna kitu anasema. Yes. But people are just excited. Yes. And people are just screaming these slogans that we have come to, you know. And I'm like, what is he saying? What is he saying that makes you scream that? There's nothing. You should ask yourself, anataka kura yangu ndio afanye nini? Amesema anataka kufanya nini? Yeah. You see? Yeah. But we have remained, we have assumed the position of fans. Yeah. That sikia Kenya alimwambia. Exactly. Ngoja usikie ribatolio jamaa. Like these people are fighting over your resources and whoever will get it will just make a deal with the other. Because Paul Coelho says everything is one. If you read The Alchemist, everything is one. So remember, all politicians are one. They come from the same mother and the same father. And they are all twins. They were born on the same day, the same time. True. And them, they don't care about honor or anything. They care about interests. So if it is in their interest that they divide themselves so that they gain, they'll do that. They will. So you go and tell people how much you hate me, and I'll go and tell people how much I hate you. Because they say when we unite in truth, miracles happen. It happened in 2024. People united in truth for a just cause. So if we allow these people to unite in truth for a just cause against us, tutaumia. Yeah. So sasa girlfriend sahi anasemaje? No, I don't talk about love. Why don't you talk about love? First of all, ni vile umeisema ni kama love imekukosea. No. Like, where the country is, you can talk about feelings. What do you mean? You can't be a lover boy in the Titanic. It's sinking. You have to think of ways of saving yourself. So sahi mambo ya mapenzi hata ufikiri? No. You tell me you love me, I doubt you. In fact, I develop mistrust. But Nganga, I love you. Platonically. That's agape love. It's a love. But that one that, you know, oh babe, I love you so much. Yeah. You love me. I don't even love myself. When I have, then you have a problem when I level up. Because if you love this version of me, then what happens? Change kidogo. So kweli. Okay. So if I'm to be in love, have to go for the best, the most dangerous woman. Yeah. So that I know if I don't level up, hapa hakuna kitu.
So unataka type kama ya Kodhe?
Not
Kodhe is dangerous.
Not necessarily. I don't know. Maybe I respond well to danger. I don't know.
Yeah.
When you treat me so kindly, so nicely, I'm like,
So utaki kupata mtu yule amekupikia chakula, amekuchemshia maji ya kuoga, anakumasaji mguu. Sasa leo umetoka kwa bunge la mwananchi.
you know, that is manipulative because why are you being nice? Let me tell you about the rich Kikuyu men.
Yeah.
You know, when they get home and they find umepika chakula tamu, heri ya kule food ya paka.
Anaona. Okay.
How comes?
Arangalele mimi si mjinga.
So
that's it.
But I have people I love. I care for. I have people I care for. Care is the word. You can love someone and not care for them. So there are people I care for. Yeah.
So if people want to just have these conversations with you more, is it just on your social media spaces? Where are you? Do you have a particular place? Kila Friday mi upatikananga place kama hii ama mi.
That's what I don't want, because you're creating a messiah thing. I don't want to give people hope. I'm just as faulted as you. Only that this time I'm pushing for this thing. I don't want to look at what they have done to Raila. You know, fought for this country, done so many things. Look at how they are shitting on his legacy. You know.
Yeah.
So what I'd say right now is that I don't want to be anyone's hero. If we can have a discussion, let's have it. But let it be in spaces that push for mental, intellectual, physical improvement. Yeah.
Thank you. I feel quite
That's why I never go for interviews, and I don't go for those panels. You know, where someone is sitting and you're sitting.
Yeah.
So I'm saying,
Alafu kuna opponent wako hapo.
Sasa why are we opposing each other?
Yeah.
You know, so I turn down those kind of interviews. And also I never like being in people's faces.
Okay.
Audience fatigue.
Yeah.
I don't want you to be saying, ulenga makelele. No. I'm good.
You're a political analyst.
Yes. You see, they even call me a political analyst. But I'm a constitutionalist. I don't analyze politics. The reality of politics is it's a shitty game if people don't level up.
True.
Yes.
True. Yeah. I hope that never changes, because someone tells me that everybody has a price. I really, really hope.
Yes, I do.
Especially for you.
I have a price.
So, unaweza nunuliwa.
That price is that I'm priceless. That's it. Like, that's the price. Pricelessness. Yes. Like, let me ask you. You know, I'll conclude. I think this could be my parting shot. There are 7 things I work around, or my principle. One is ndoto ni kitu ya mtu. So after elections in 2022, I went to Sugoi and I talked to some people, and a certain old woman told me there that ndoto ni kitu ya mtu. So if you see William Ruto became the president, it was not the country's dream or the village's dream. It was his personal dream. So she asked me, so what is your personal? So I went and I was like, yeah, ndoto ni kitu ya mtu. So my dream is to just live a very simple life, free, not poor. Yeah, don't confuse those things. I'll be among the richest in my generation. Yes, I can't be funny, awesome, and poor. You know, they call me for parties. I can't be that. I think all these people here are working towards something.
Yeah, true.
You know? So I want to keep working. I want to keep climbing. The second one is, you know, they say ndoa ni nusu ya dini. Muslims say that. That ndoa ni nusu ya dini. It means that take yourself serious. You should be reliable. You should be, you know, mean your things. Yeah. And then they also say the opposite. So I want to be a person who means his things. There's another one that says ujana ni nusu ya wenda wazimu. Yeah, that's in Islam. So they say that and you don't rely on that person who's still in his ujana. And symbolically to mean that person who hasn't figured out what he wants. So they take advantage of you when they realize you don't know what you want.
Yes.
You are so vocal, but you don't know what you want. You know, that's where they meet you, because if you don't know what you want, then you can easily be greedy.
Bought.
You know? Because remember, you are bought at your point of greed. You know, when someone cons you, it means you are more greedy than
them. True.
So akakuosha. So number 4, it says that we are a special generation. So in Islam, Allah, their God, tells them that you are a special generation. You are the most special of creation. That, you know, I created everything, but you, a human being, you're so special because you can think, you can make decisions. So it is upon you to choose if you'll follow me or not. You know. So if I have the ability to choose, it means I should choose well, because that's God-given gift. You know. Number 5 is read with discipline. That is the first revelation that Muhammad received. So I derive a lot of things from different religions.
Okay.
From Buddhism. So from Islam, those are the things I got, that you should read with wisdom, with discipline. No, soma kwa nidhamu. Number 6 would be the heart that remembers the Creator will have eternal peace. So I believe there's someone who created me, and there are things he expects of me. One of them is to remain in my element and not to ever sell out. Because remember, a heart that does not remember its Creator will fall for the 7 deadly sins, and therefore you'll never have peace. That's why you see people who steal public money, they never have peace. You know? True. They're always thinking someone is after them. Yeah. They always, even if you just had a bad dream out of fatigue, you know, when you're fatigued, you'll have a bad dream. They're like, oh my God, kuna mtu ananipangia. Yeah. You know. And the last one is, it starts with God and it ends with God. In between, it can get so difficult, but never lose hope. People think that because God is involved, it will not be difficult. No, when God is involved, it just means He has empowered you to face the difficulties. So I know even when I'm broke, I shouldn't take any deal because it's part of the difficulty. Yeah. And I have no problem living a normal life. I have no problem going from a house of 30,000 to a house of 5,000 because it's still me. Or getting into a matatu. I have no problem. I am not, because remember, if you look at everyone in every revolution in the world who was bought, they meet him at their point of sophistication. Yeah. That man who likes looking good, they know you want to sustain it, but you can't. So they're like, that's where we are going to meet you. Yeah. So that's it. I think when we are afraid, even for the white man to conquer the African, he had to introduce us some form of sophistication that, it's called a white collar job. Do not be in the blacklist. You are a black continent, so that they have something else to aspire to do. If you look at those powers, those superpowers, they look for the man who's so greedy, because they are like, now out of your greed, we shall establish control. Like if you look even at the story of Patrice Lumumba against Mobutu Sese Seko, Patrice was more of a communist. And they were like, unataka communist na hapa kuna minerals. So they're like, no, let's tell this guy he'll be the president, inflate his ego, then have him attack him. And that's how they did. And you know how he died? After he died. Do you know what they did to him after he died? What? They dissolved his body in acid. The only thing that remained was a silver tooth, right? Even Haile Selassie, people don't know what they did to him. Yes, they faced the same fate. Yeah. So it's about what you will be remembered for. Yeah. Can you imagine waking up every day and saying something that another man has sent you to say? You are worse than a prisoner in jail. True. Yeah. True. Because today you come and say, na hawa watu, but you've been instructed. Yeah. For what? Money. I mean, come on.
I think, and it's so easy to see even with our politicians that today he will say this, then to say tomorrow he'll say hapana sikumaanisha hivyo. So I think he goes back and ambiwa hapana sasa enda uka.
Because they know something about him. They know he's not entrepreneurial. He cannot make his own money.
He cannot think for himself.
But he's too prideful to accept.
Yeah.
So he's in that capacity where he has to do everything to maintain his position.
Yeah.
So what you people should know is that these people that you see acting so tough out here, when they are talking to their masters, they're instructed like kids.
Yeah.
Na kwanza hiyo maneno ndisikia unaongea huko hiyo mambo uache.
Kweli.
Yes.
Kweli.
Even presidents, when they now go and meet the real puppeteers,
yes,
they don't tell him that, you know, Your Excellency. They call him by his first name and tell him, those things we don't want. You are now doing, you are working on a dangerous path.
Yeah.
So go and fix those things. You are addressed with 2 statements. So do you want to be part of that? No, I wouldn't want to be part of that. Yeah. So that what? I can appear in Gazlas?
Yeah.
Come on. Too much hype for a common man.
Driving big cars and showing up with bodyguards.
Yeah. I'm inspired by Robert Sobukwe. He lived his life diligently, went to jail, studied law in jail, came out, practiced his law, got cancer, died peacefully.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Nganga.
Karibu.
This has been so enlightening. Like, I just feel like I just want to sit with you. Like, mi nataka tu kukaa tu na wewe. Like, all the time.
No.
Like, there's just so much to learn, and it's not just even just learning from you, it's just about learning from each other, because that's really what it's all about. You know, there's no one who has monopoly of information and all of these things. So thank you so much.
Karibu sana. Yeah.
I hope you enjoy to spend time na mimi. I mean, like, serious, just say yes, I have.
If I agree to come to your show, then I have seen your work.
Thank you.
Yes, I'm a person who's too careful.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's someone who called me for an interview. Then I checked out his interviews.
Yeah.
I was like, kusema tu kweli bad. I'm not saying I'm smart.
Yeah.
I'm saying even in my capacity. Bad. Yeah, so because you want conversations with people who mean it. Yeah, there are people who just do it to fit the program.
Yeah,
you are just in fact the mistake he did, he was like, aki unajua sina mtu mwingine kesho ni wewe tu, and I was like, oh, so
hapo bulanda.
I think they confuse us, because when people see you in bunge, they think you are just a rascal. You know, craving attention. No, I'm not one of them. Like I'm
true. Yeah. Thank you so much. So kwa show yetu si umaliza na food.
Okay.
So mtu wangu kuko na njaa. This is the time.
But I'm fasting. In fact, I just took your knee out of courtesy.
For real?
Yes, I'm fasting. I've just told you things about Islam. I'm studying a lot of the Quran.
Ah, okay. Okay, so you're doing the 30 days.
Yes, I'm fasting.
Okay. That's fine. Nitakula tu na crew yangu, angalia vile umefurahi. But thank you so much.
Give the guy from Kakamega school my share.
Yeah, I will. But even just you know, cutting your fast for a little bit just to have this, I really appreciate that. And thank you so much for coming.
Yeah.
Mimi nitakuwa nakupigia simu kama kuna vitu zinanisu.
No worries. Now that one I do a lot. A lot of people call me, and if you want to understand something, I do.
Okay. Sawa. Thank you guys so much. This has been so amazing. I've had such an amazing time, and so much to learn and unlearn with this amazing human, this amazing Kenyan. So until next time, mimi ni wenyu Jackie Nyamindo on the Netwalking Show, and
my name is Nganga Muigai. Nganga Wangari Muigai.
Wangari Muigai.